Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the next couple days from the challenge. Day 3 is obviously to start, as we went over day 1 and day 2 in the last video. So without saying much more, we're going to jump right into it. To start here, as I've been starting in the other ones, we have the finished poster, and then I'm going to be showing you kind of what my process was here. So I have this character dancing with like this top hat acting as like the headpiece, these lines coming off of it. This kind of character I kind of got off of my inspiration like this, with the flower being the headpiece. But then I've also seen these kind of characters elsewhere. I forget the original artist, but Lego even did a set with these kind of guys, like the dancing characters. So I also kind of took that and made it part of it. And of course, just like I said, the flower being the headpiece here, I wanted to use the top hat because when I saw this, I had actually just been watching through a season of Family Guy, and I had thought of the scene where Carter was doing the whole thing like
dancing, walking, rearranging furniture.
Yeah, that scene. So taking that, I kind of looked at his pose and I thought that would be good to kind of like roughly like emulate with this character here, with the arm coming out to the side of him and the other arm just right beside him, coming off the side, and then his foot behind him, and overall having every like kind of bit of movement that's happening here being highlighted with the lines, kind of like how the inspiration piece has here. And then there's the signature at the bottom, and I want to do the same for myself, using like the same color background, and then that splash of color that's on there actually does come from kind of like what more of the tones were in this scene, which happened to be like a lot of reds and like browns and that kind of stuff. So I decided to go with like a deeper red to kind of stand out against the background. So that ended up being the entire poster, and this was a good one to kind of get me in the mood of kind of sketching things out with like the pen tool, making sure I could get things and feel a little more like freeing in doing the art. I mean, it was only one day, it was a third day that I was doing this, but I ended up really liking it, and I hope that you like it. And if you want to see all of these pieces, again, go onto my website. They're readily available to see, and at the end of all this, I might have prints available. I don't know right now, but for now, go check them out. Let's move to the next one. So this is our day 4 for year 1, and it happens to be this Illinois patch, and I chose to have it in the setting of Chicago, with Millennium Park being the place, having what I believe it's called Clouds Gate, whatever, and then the longitude and latitude of Millennium Park, where you can actually go see this. So having the inspiration here coming off of this, I saw all of these patches that happen to be of different states, and either their parks that they have there or just like significant landmarks. I chose to go with something that a lot of people will come to Illinois and like go up to Chicago for, being the Bean, having kind of like this view right into the city, right behind it, having different things. You can go right over to the art museum, which pushes pretty much right next to it, and just walk around, maybe even like walk along the pier, just like right behind it, maybe go to a concert because there's kind of like an auditorium right there. That's kind of like the vibe that I wanted to get here, is just like you're in the city, like you're there for the Bean, and as people of Illinois, like it's called the land of Lincoln. That's kind of like what people from Illinois have. The second thing that I could have done here was the Lincoln Memorial down in Springfield, and I had to weigh both the options. Well, like most people probably won't go down to Springfield when they come here. They'll probably just go to Chicago, because that's kind of like where you can like land from the airport, like down in O'Hare, and just be in Chicago. So that's what I decided to go with, being everything together. Super simple, kind of taking like this background here, kind of just like that off-white cream color, into here with adding like this border so you can read it a little better, and just having a pretty simplified thing, just like these guys were showing, just kind of like very stipply, just getting the message across without getting too complicated with simple colors. I think I did pretty well. Of course, let me know what you guys think. And we still have time for another one, so let's go look at our third for today. Okay, another piece fully completed. This was day 5. I was quite happy with how this ended up, having the texture in the background of this paper with the saying, "Love is the most twisted curse of them all." This actually came from one of my inspiration pieces, the main one being, "Do you really want to hurt me?" which I happen to pull from. I happen to pull the inspiration for like the quotes from the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, and this saying right here, "Love is the most twisted curse of them all," because it's about like hurting someone. It's just like, well, if you love someone and like you can potentially hurt someone through loving, whether you like love bomb someone or just like love them too much that you begin to kind of control their life. And then looking here, I wanted to maybe go with like eyes that look sad to kind of like match this, but then I found another picture kind of like on Pinterest and decided to kind of get that same pose and have like this heart traveling through this emptiness to show that someone like was broken through love and doesn't feel like they have their own identity now, and they feel like they can't even love themselves through this whole like process of like grieving what they once had. So them kind of like presenting this open hole, being like, look, I don't have it anymore. And this makes me even think of that scene from Naruto when Toby like points towards his chest after he's kind of like been punched through, and he goes like, "Look, Kakashi, I don't have a heart," like that kind of thing. So having these again with just very simple colors, kind of like having that very like bleeding red to showcase the heart coming through, with even just like the very subtle blue to showcase the tears if you like really wanted to look, and having it on this paper as if it were like a middle school or like a school love kind of thing, where like as a kid you think like you like fully understand what it means to like love somebody, but in reality it's just kind of like it's just good feelings in your head and you don't really know what it is. You're still a child, but this is what it ended up being at the end of the day. I really liked this poster. I liked the messaging, like coming up with this poster, putting everything together, even with these letters. I don't remember what the original font was because I did alter it, kind of like making it kind of bubbly, make it look like it was a little bit drawn. Even though it was not drawn, I probably should have drawn it back in the day, but I did not. As you can see, like the E's and the S's are like the same, just from like that slight bubbling and warping, just to fit all together. I really liked it again, and I hope you like it. And that's going to conclude today's video. So, having our day 3 through 5 completed, I hope that you enjoyed looking at all of these. And again, website, see all of them, tell me what you think. And taking a look at some of these and maybe even some stuff from my website. I know I'm super excited to get to some of these pieces, and if you're excited to look at any of the pieces that you might find, please let me know down below. And of course, leave that comment, and if you could subscribe, that would help me greatly as I'm starting this new project. And I'll see you later. Love yous. Bye.